7 o'clock. And rise for the pledge of allegiance. And a moment of pledge. I'll start the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so roll call. Joyce Baracco, clerk here. Eric Miller, treasurer. Barry Venus.
Here.
Trustee Dingman.
Here.
Trustee Greenwood.
Here.
Trustee Hires.
Here.
We have 5 and a quorum. And I'm going to make a motion to let Trustee Beamish chair the board.
Support.
Support. And then all in favor will say voice vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion
All right.
Item 5, approval of the January 11th, 2024 agenda. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to approve the January 11th, 2024 agenda as submitted. I so move.
Support.
Anything else we need? I think we've got good on that. Next we work on that with Dennis. Any comments, discussion? Nope. Call roll, please.
Clerk Baracco, yes. Treasurer Miller, absent. Trustee Hires.
Yes.
Trustee Beamish.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
Trustee Dingman.
Yes.
5 yes, motion carried.
All right. 6, approval of the December 14th, 2023 minutes. Can't talk tonight. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to approve the December 14th, 2023 minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Support. Any discussion on that, guys? Everything good?
Clerk Baracco, yes. Trustee Hires.
Yes.
Trustee Beamish.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
Trustee Dingman.
Yes.
5 yes, motion carries.
Thank you, guys. All right, public comment. This will be on agenda items only. And reference the rules. If you need rules for public comment, they're out there on the table. If anybody's not familiar with that, you have 3 minutes. If you'd like to speak, they can go that. Who wants to go first? Mr. Shocks?
So, I'm sorry, I'm admittedly just getting the agenda. Is there a road department report on here tonight?
Mr. Shocks, this is a question and answer time. Would you like to speak on the agenda? You've got it there.
Yes, sir.
Time is ticking there, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry about that. I would just like to ask a question about the road department that we formed or pose a public question, not ask a question to be answered.
And there's not a road issue on here, sir, so if you move on to your next topic.
I'll save my comments for the open public comment.
Perfect, sir. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment on agenda items?
Thank you. Great. We move those papers so that it's not. Oh my God. Thank you.
All right, communications. You guys have got all the reports in your packet. That was all sent out to you. Any questions on any of the reports, guys?
I have none.
No questions? Perfect. All right, let's go on to item 9. Resolution 1/11/2401. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to approve payment of expenses totaling $82,135.93. Any questions on that? Anything funky to add, Joyce?
I have nothing.
All right. Seeing none, you call roll on that, please.
Trustee Dingman.
Yes.
Clerk Baracco, yes. Trustee Hires.
Yes.
Trustee Beamish.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
5 yes, motion carried.
All right. Unfinished business, don't we have? All right. All right, so resolution 1/11/2401. be 02. Alright, so we're gonna have to renumber. So this one will be 02. I'm gonna make notes and I'll read it quickly. So we've got a, this one's done. So I didn't catch that until now. Could we motion to read the number? Not really.
Dennis, did the updated one get put out here?
I thought this was the updated.
Oh, this was mine from the other day, so.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yes, updated one.
Mine looks updated. Am I missing something?
If you just got yours tonight, yours is good.
Okay.
So, you'll need a different one, because I printed yours off of mine.
You just changed the numbers.
Yeah, right. I understand. Alright, so let's go back here. Resolution 111-2402, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Bedford County Township to accept the recommendation made by the Planning Commission to rezone parcel number 04-029, 00602, also known as 3201 West Michigan Avenue, from RB, which is medium density residential, to C, commercial. That's in your packet. I so move.
Support.
This is the parcel that is kitty corner from the old gas station, right across the street from Pizza Parlor. That's all together there, Mike, isn't it? That whole corner?
Yes, that is. I would assume that they will probably split that at some point, the rezone for the whole
The
parcel.
whole parcel, gotcha. Do you have anything to add on that? It's pretty cut and dry, that's already.
Very cut and dry, you know, we were hoping that, you know, development would come down to that corridor, so changing this to commercial makes sense. They did not submit a site plan of any kind with that request, they don't require them to when they do rezones. But Mr. Gordon did say that, they were thinking, you know, on that, the 2 acres on the corner, some kind of, you know, C-store with, you know, a business suite on the end of it type thing, or a sandwich shop, but I mean, that's speculation, obviously, it's not something we can hold them to, but that's what he was thinking.
Yeah.
But that area is prime for commercial development, so.
Okay. Any questions? It's all in your packet, also,
Right.
so, seeing no questions, call the roll, please.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Trustee Hires.
Yes.
Trustee Beamish.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
Trustee Dingman.
Yes.
5 yes, motion carried.
Resolution 111-2403, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to approve moving the Remain American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds to the general fund. This means that the township can elect to use all its full allocation of general township services, projects, and uses. Can use it for. I so move. I don't have an exact number on that. I think Erica was gonna have something, but in her absence, I can't tell you. Do you guys understand the move on that?
Yeah, I mean, she's spoken pretty good detail on the intelligence of doing this, so.
Yeah. The ARPA fund is currently at 717,647.89.
Huge benefit for the township. Do we have support? I moved. Damon
Yep,
supported.
Dingman supported.
Any other comments?
No.
Your turn.
Trustee Hires.
Yes.
Trustee Beamish.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
Trustee Dingman.
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. 5 yes, motion carried.
Thank you. Resolution 111-2404, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to appoint the following individuals to the Election Commission. Stacy Greenwood, trustee, through expiration of term of November 20th, 2024.
So moved. Support.
This is volunteer, right? So I don't have to
Yes.
abstain. Okay.
Any discussion? Ms. Rocco?
Trustee Hires.
Yes.
Excuse me, Trustee Beamish.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
Trustee Dingman.
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. 5 yes, motion carried.
Thank you. Resolution 111-2405, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford for the superintendent to bring a final recommendation on how to handle recycling moving forward for the February 2024 board meeting. I so move.
Support.
And this is, I know Dennis has been working on that. We've had issues with residents leaving garbage getting mixed in there, being charged a penalty for them to basically dispose of all of it. I think staff has had to go out there and throw stuff away, it's getting packed out there, and kind of becoming a nuisance and it's getting abused, so Dennis has got some stuff in the works and we'll look forward to a report in February. This just formalizes that, so we can make sure we get that.
I do want to comment too.
Yes, sir.
I'm strongly in support of the, I know it's been difficult, it's been a challenge, and I have some of the residents, but I really want us to make this work somehow.
So it's twofold though.
I know that there's,
It's not only the residents, it's also the company not picking up weekly, not picking up every 2 weeks. I mean, there's a lot of, and there's multiple phone calls
So
to them.
who's the current service that we use?
Republic.
So, and it's, I think they charged us $250 a month for them to take the trash as opposed to the recycling. If it's contaminated, they charge for the whole. Okay, so,
Does anybody know, I mean, the reason why we terminated the last recycling service was when Supervisor Johnson told us that he spoke with the company and found out that there had never been a single month that they were able to transport those recyclables to a recycle center. Every single month there was at least a bag of garbage in there, and one bag of garbage discredits the entire container, receptacle, whatever you like to call it. Has that changed? Has it gotten better, or are we still having the same issue?
same issue. It's gotta be locked up and protected at night, it has to be, that's when that's happening, I believe. That's.
But I mean, unless we post somebody out there during the day when it's open.
We put a fence and gates and lock it.
but they said they,
But when it's open, I'm saying, instead of somebody throwing a
Yeah,
bag of
still
milk,
possible.
you know, they could, I mean, that's my.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
It's frustrating that people would do that.
Is there anything that could be manned by like the Parks and Rec Committee, you know, once a month, or firefighters or anything like that, something to?
It's worth pursuing.
I'm sure he'll
It
come up
really
with
is
some different
important.
ideas, cause we were looking at alternatives, ways to do it maybe. What could.
We will look
could have been,
forward to
so.
Dennis's recommendations.
Yep.
Okay. Call roll.
Trustee Beamish.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
Trustee Damon.
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Treasurer, Trustee Hires.
Yes.
5 yes, motion carried.
Resolution 111-2406, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford for the recommended template for personal policy to be brought forward by the superintendent at the next monthly meeting in February. I so move.
Support.
Essentially, we need a personnel policy. This is just kind of putting it on Dennis's plate with timelines of, hey, bring this to us so we can get something moving and
Start the process, right?
Yes.
That'll probably be a read-in.
I don't think we'll be reading at that meeting.
Just
Have
for
some,
information and start the process.
yes. I'm expecting you'll have he's got some templates to go by. We just need to, he needs to read through them, decide what'll fit Bedford, make changes. And get that going, that way we can be more compliant with having something in place officially. Any other questions? Any other input? If you would call roll, please.
Trustee Hires.
Yes.
Trustee Beamish.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
Trustee Damon.
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. 5 yes, motion carried.
Resolution 111-2407, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to accept the recommendation of Chief Co-Conspire to hire James Green as firefighter. He will be required to pass physical examination, and there will be a 1-year probationary period with the fire department.
So moved.
Support. Is he here?
Is he here?
I don't see anybody. So, good, the chief still got some folks coming around that need your help, that's cool. Any other comments? Your turn.
Trustee Hires.
Yes.
Trustee Beamish.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
Trustee Damon.
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. 5 yes, motion carried.
Resolution 111-2408, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to accept the following meeting dates for 2024. This list supersedes all previous meeting dates. As we're running down here, January 11th, February 8th, March 14th, April 11th, May 9th, June 13th, June 11th, August 8th, September 11th, October 10th, November 14th, and December 12th. The meeting starting at 7 p.m. I so move.
Support.
So there were some dates in the previous one that we voted on that were incorrect.
Yeah, they were like Tuesdays or Wednesdays, they just, we could probably look the wrong date. So this is still the second Thursday of every month, but this gets everything in line. Appreciate Tara catching those things for us. But really nothing out of the ordinary, just making it proper.
Just get the backing out looking correct in there.
Yes.
Right. Trustee Demus,
Yes.
trustee Greenwood,
Yes.
trustee Davis,
Yes.
clerk Baraco, yes, trustee Myers,
Yes.
5 yes, motion carried.
Perfect. And public comment time now, so anything you wanna speak about, keep in mind the rules, guys, you have 3 minutes. Whoever would like to talk first?
Keep it.
Mr. Schatz?
I'll find the freedom to speak. Well, what I wanted to talk about when I got there the first time was the new road department we've got set up, and that's because you've made Mike Stive the head of that road department. And I'm curious to know that as representatives of the people supposedly, is there any level of income that he makes from Calhoun County that you would consider to be a conflict of interest to being the head of our road department that makes the decision as to whether or not, or excuse me, it makes the top recommendation as to whether or not we would use Calhoun County road services or not, things like that. That's just one thing I would like to ask. Is there any level of conflict of interest that you would be uncomfortable with? So that's something that maybe you could address, but if I had been able to look over the agenda, the last time I looked for the agenda online, it still only had the agenda's packet posted and not the agenda itself, so I couldn't read anything about the agenda. If I had been able to go over the agenda, I would have seen like Stacy's appointment for the election committee, and I would have liked to have said that first time, how is it that she was too busy to be the planning commission chairman, so she had to resign, to only then accept an appointment to the board, and then to become again the liaison back onto the planning commission, and now to be adding another role? That seems to be an odd fluctuation of I'm too busy for this, I'm not too busy for that. Just something I would have probably brought up if I'd been able to see that agenda. I'd like to bring up that y'all still don't have anything for the hearing impaired in here. I guess it's just, forget the disabled, we don't care, Bedford gets away with it. I've been saying it for years, you've been saying it for years. Sometimes you do something about it. Other times you just don't care whether the hearing impaired could hear in here or not, or know what's going on or not. Still not doing anything for the homebound to be able to participate in these meetings from Zoom. It was the easiest thing in the world when it was for the health and safety of the ruling class to have everything by Zoom. But when it's for the homebound and for the disabled, years later, you still don't give a crap. Still like to bring that up. There's so many things that should just be better for these people. There's so many things that should just show that you're representing. Like, for example, you not being confident to have the agenda posted by certain times so people can check it out, but then you want to hold people to some letter of some crazy law about, you can't talk about this and you can't talk about that. Ha! Caught you on a technicality. That's how you feel like you should be representing the people. Shame on you. It's just it's a top-down problem when you've got classism and elitism at the helm. We need some people that feel like it's for the people, it's for everyone. There shouldn't be anyone who feels like, oh, you want access to our information? Give me $10,000. I would really like to find out why on the agenda tonight wasn't my hearing.
Anybody else wish to engage public comment?
Want to go first?
No. Mr. Heiko?
Sure. All right. Once again. So, who is to make the decisions here? Who's to have the ideas? Who's to do things? It appears to me so far, in the short time that we've had a superintendent, that you all, as a board, believe that the job of the superintendent is to bring the ideas and the things that we're supposed to be doing and functioning now. Really the work that you all should be doing is all just getting pushed on Dennis now. Dennis bring the idea, Dennis bring this idea, Dennis, we're gonna put on the agenda, make sure that Dennis has to bring the ideas for us, because we don't know anything and have any ideas. Why are you guys even elected on this board? Well, some of you don't even live here. You openly told us that. You won't even look at me because you know that, and you're
that scared of and weak of a person, it's fine. Look down and mark and why don't you fill in the circles? Yeah, thank you. Looking up, finally. Why don't you do the right thing then too? You listen to me there, why don't you do the right thing and step down? But you can't, because you're weak. That's what weak men do. Weak men will not do the right thing. You don't know how to do the right thing because you will not step down. You did the right thing and told everyone here. But now we have a weak prosecutor who won't do the right thing and come after you. We have a weak sheriff who doesn't do the right thing and come after you. It's disgusting. So we now have personnel. We have personnel, hired personnel that's going to make the personnel policy? I mean, how much bigger of a joke can you guys make this? You guys now made this meeting so that, it was going too long because you didn't know how to control the things that were going on. So now you made this meeting 20 minutes. Because you don't want to share information. Because you don't know what you're doing. Other than controlling, you know how to control. Oh, we know how to have power and get more access to power. More information to have power. Oh, power, good for you. You all are going to be judged someday by your Maker. And that's why I sleep good at night, knowing that those evil, wicked people in positions of authority are going to be judged the harshest. Not that any of you care. I don't think any of you actually have a true relationship with your Lord and Savior.
That's going to be the first warning. You will not make a personal attack.
I'm going to tell you right now that you need to step down and leave our township office because you knew not listen.
Sit down. Your time is up.
Thanks, Daddy. What the hell is this place, man? Do the right thing. Just shut up and do the right thing.
Third warning.
Third warning. That was all in one interaction happened here, so don't be the Gestapo. I'm going to be quiet and we're going to finish.
He's asked you to leave the premise. You have 3 warnings, so I'm asking you to leave the premise.
That was all one thing, Barry.
First warning from Miss Heifler.
You like to be the
I'm going to ask you
Gestapo?
one more time. We're not going to leave the premise.
You're
Leave
ridiculous.
the premise as well.
You would like to speak next?
Dude! By so many times now!
Peter Van Gogh.
Morons!
Wrong.
And you
I
guys are
remember.
the evil ones. Just like I said, you're enforcing.
You guys are all not gonna run next time. I was here some years ago with the previous board. But they were all not gonna run the next time. But then they all did. The people you replaced. Sorry for that. Also, I heard a rumor says you guys want things to calm down. So we can be the township that swept the lynching of a citizen on the road. That's what we did. You want things to be calm? Apologize to Justin Shops for the way you treated him. Something to say? You can get 3 minutes too, if you got something to say.
Just go ahead, it's your turn, sir.
Point of order. No comments, please.
Thank you. Mister. Thank you.
Apologize to Justin Shops for what you did. I called you out that morning, 18 months ago, is it? A year and a half you wasted. Because of these super inflated egos. You couldn't apologize for what you did and give us our $6,000 back. So, I forgot about the 7 samurai. The 7 armed angry men that didn't exist. The security guard that walked in right behind Jody Jones. Apparently, you never saw him. You want things to calm down? Just tell the truth. Do what you're supposed to do. Still disgusting.
Thank you, Mr. Van Gogh. Anyone else like to speak?
Sure.
Mr. McKay.
Gene, I'd like to talk about the the funds that you're getting from ARPA. And in particular, you know, you're gonna allocate them to the general fund, which is fine to me. I would like you to consider earmarking many of those funds for the local residents for their direct benefit, whatever that may be as you define it. And especially our low income residents that may need some additional support during this inflationary time. I just want you to consider that since you have a lot of latitude with those funds. The second thing I want to briefly mention is I haven't been able to come here a lot because of some post-surgery issues. And I want to thank Justin Schatz for the live stream that he produces. I don't like to watch these kind of meetings after the fact. And I would encourage this board to start live streaming these things. Whether it's on YouTube or Zoom, I see the Battle Creek City Commission, I see other entities in the area all live streaming. Whether it's on YouTube or Zoom, it needs to be done. And it needs to be done yesterday. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Anyone else? Mr. Hayes?
Nope.
Mr. Green?
Yeah, there were a couple of things that needed clarification. I think Mr. McKay makes a good point. I do like the option for everyone to be able to view the meetings in real time, and I think that should be done. As far as the ARPA funds, I don't think the board has a strategic plan on that. We need a capital improvement plan moving forward, and there are some large items like Fire Station 1 that we need to consider. But you bring up a very good point. As far as who makes decisions for the superintendent can attest to the fact that we all have been involved, especially with the personnel policy. He is just helping us with communication. He's not doing the actual work. He's assisting as a liaison. This is a team effort. And Clerk Caraco can speak on the appointment to the elections committee. My understanding is it's 1 day. Everyone is fully aware of why I stepped down from the PC previously, because my family was attacked and my child was doxxed publicly, and my family's issue is no one's business, so that's all I have to say.
Mr. Dean? As far as hearing impaired, we have a microphone there and a speaker in the back there. Thank you for Cody for getting that set up. So you might not have noticed that. I would support getting meetings live streamed from an official source. That would be something else we could get Dennis to work on, maybe. I think that's it for me.
Excuse me, I passed out these folders that I have the different voting, it's a synopsis of all the voting for Bedford and the surrounding community. So with absentee voting, you have that now. That's a normal thing. What you do is just request it. We'll send you an application, send back the application signed, we'll send you a ballot. Turn it in up until 8 o'clock on election day. You can be in person, you can mail it, you can drop it in the drop box. So those are all options. Those are the same thing we've had. The new thing with proposal 22.2 is that you can also be on the permanent ballot list, which means instead of an application to sign to send back, you would automatically get whatever ballot is available for that election. So that's the permanent ballot. That's a different form to fill out. So that's the absentee method. So that's one. And in-person early voting is 9 days of early voting, which starts on the Saturday, February 17th, and ends on February 25th. If that's early voting, just drive downtown to the pool center, used to be Burnham Brook. There's a lot of space there. There's our ballots there. Bedford ballots are there. It's a conglomeration of 4 different communities running that, so we'll be taking turns working that, and that's a 9-day early voting. The hours there are 8 to 4. So you can vote any time during that 8 to 4. There'll be a lot of space. If you are in a wheelchair and need extra time, extra space, it's perfect for that. We don't know what the turnout will be because we haven't had 9 days of early voting before, but we will have it staffed perfectly for that. So that's the early person in voting. And then the normal in-person on election day is at your precinct where you normally vote. So if you vote at the Lions Club, precinct 1, that will be there on that day, on voting day. If you vote at St. Jerome, go there for voting. If you vote at Fire Station 3 on Morgan Road, go there for voting. And the hours there are 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that's your normal voting station. This pamphlet I passed out to most of you that were here, but if you did not pick it up, feel free to pick it up at the table as you leave. But it gives you, this goes through the year. So it'll give you all the information. So that was one thing I want to talk about. And then I just wanted to take a few moments. You may have noticed some construction, some busyness on Stringham Road, behind McDonald's on Stringham by the river. So that was the beginning of our water project. What they did was the contractors they bored underneath the Kalamazoo River to make it to the other side, so the south side. So the water project, Bedford got involved in maybe 2016, 2017 is when we got involved. I started going to these in 2018, but we were notified of contamination on River Road. So there was PFAS on River Road. And we were notified there were about 40 houses that had contaminated wells. Then there were a lot of meetings trying to figure out what to do, how we could best serve the people, if there was anything that we could do to make it safe for them. Department of Health and Human Services stepped in and they offered a water filtration system, just a single unit for like a sink faucet to filter the water, and also bottled drinking water. That was meant as a temporary fix, but it's still being used. So with everything going on, we were told about a grant that was, it was a big step to ask for a grant like that. It's upwards of $5 million. We applied for it, and we know that it was a long shot. It was a long shot because it was a big ask. But everything worked out, and we were able to get that $5 million grant that will fully fund the water project on River Road. That's pretty amazing when you think that you're going to be able to give all of those residents clean water to drink. So I'm proud to be part of the team that helped. I'm proud to be part of the board that is continuing, and I think it comes from a lot of diligence, a lot of time, a lot of dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and just a group effort. So I just wanted to bring a little bit of update to that. And there's zero out of pocket to be hooked up. The goal was always that, to be hooked up to the water. And then we'll have more information as it gets going further. So that's that. Let me speak on election commission. Sorry. So election commission has to be a trustee on the board. We have 4 trustees. Mark is already on the commission, the election commission. Barry was unavailable, Craig was unavailable, Stacy stepped in. So it had to be a trustee. So I have 4 choices. 1 is already there. So 2 of the 4 have to be on the commission. And what they do is, the election commission, we have a meeting, we appoint the inspectors, we appoint the, we watch the machinery during the testing, so we'll do the live testing of ballots, make sure everything's sealed correctly, and it usually is at the public test that happens before the election. So it's one day for each election, not one day a year, but yeah. So that is why Trustee Greenwood is on the election commission. So thank you for doing that. Okay, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Item 15, ready for adjournment. Next meeting, February 8th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
How many years I've been asking to put cameras in here?
I would think that $5 million to provide water to 40 houses is something to emphasize. It's something to emphasize. Or somebody that's spending someone else's money. Or someone that's spending somebody else's money. The federal government produces results over half of the houses in the, what do you do about the other half?
I don't want to.
What about everybody else? What about everybody else? What about their
Realize
plumbers?
That's our favorite.
50% of the farm.
grandfather?
Yes.
50% of the farm. What about everybody else?
Her name
What
is.
about Timmy Flynn?
Yeah.
What? Don't matter?
They can get that. And they want to-
Oh, really? So $5 million for 40,000 acres. Yes, I do.
You have no idea.
Really? What's 40 times $10,000 well? What's 40? How much is one cost? How much is one cost? Maybe it's just one cost. They've already done theirs, right?